programs for Christmas Eve, and at 11 o'clock, Elvis Presley stars in one of his most popular and famous films, G.I. Blues. First, Noel Edmonds presents a very special, seasonal swap of the pops.
Sorry, Christmas Eve on a rooftop, saw a chimney, my whole brain just went, what the hell?
Don't need deck the halls or Jingle Bell Rock, 'cause you can spin a dreidel with Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock, both Jewish.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Good evening, good morning, and still Merry Christmas. You know, I keep the decorations up to the 12th night. Let's keep the party going, baby. Let's keep the party going. So, yeah, we've had, I would say, a real division in fandom. It seems to be that, like, the purple hair crazy crowd all loved it, right? It's like all the kids, essentially. All the kids went, it's the bestest ever! Right, because it's the only thing they can say, because it's got a black guy in the lead, and it feels progressive to them, right? So yeah, they kind of all uniformly on math. I worry outside of the cultural aisle is being somewhat reactionary. Well, I worry. I think they are being somewhat reactionary and seeing things. Some are seeing things that aren't there. There are things there to be certainly concerned about, but like as I was answering my my comments today, my feeling is this: we got to a point yesterday where we were presented a new version of Doctor Who, right? And a lot of people have a lot of questions about it, like with things that like to them didn't make any sense. But here, let me pull this up. Yeah. Pull this up. Hopefully this will explain the point. So I just knocked this up quickly, Uwe, before we started. Now, what shape do you see there? Most people will say they see a square, right? Now, why do they see a square? There's not a square there. It's 3 circles with a quarter chunk cut out of them. It's what happens is you're looking at it and your mind fills in the blanks, right? And it does it automatically to go, oh, it's a square. Right, even though it's not a square, it's a square. That's what illusion is, right? And that's you use illusion in many areas of life, but throughout the arts, right? When one is doing a drawing, they're doing an illusion of whatever it is they're drawing. It's not really some flowers. It's lines and colors, right? It's an illusion. So. For me, when I watched this yesterday's episode of Doctor Who, there are a lot of blanks in there. I would agree with you, but all of them were automatically filled in by my brain in the same way that they are filled in by my brain when they're making it see a square here, right? They were all automatically filled in. With the Chibnall stuff, the breaks in logic were too huge. Because like it would just contradict its own internal logic, right? And it wouldn't make any sense. This, however, Church and Ruby Road didn't, in my opinion, contradict its internal logic. It's a new take on Doctor Who, and for me, it has enough of the DNA of what is Doctor Who to make it be Doctor Who, where I don't think the Jodie Whittaker years did, right? That DNA being, I found Shooty Gutwood to be very authoritative. So a big question people have, why is he black now with this like very regional accent, right? Like, I mean, like, okay, I get him being Scottish again, but he came up with like Scottish Rwandan, sounds like he's from Trinidad. Like that's weird. right? Like, can you explain that? So, again, that's one of the things like my head just filled in. But this is a very different take on Doctor Who. In the same way, I think that, you go from Invisible Enemy to not Invisible Enemy, say City of Death to Castrovalva, right? I would say that it's that much of a difference, right? One of the biggest differences is this: it's a sly masturbatory fantasy for gay people now, right? I mean, just in the same way, Perry was a masturbatory fantasy. Is and will never stop being a masturbatory fantasy, for young men watching at the time. Now the Doctor's a masturbatory fantasy, and he is. That's the point of, like, not just the dance scene. Now, are you able to watch that without cluing in it's a gay person masturbatory fantasy? I think yes, right? I don't think being the gay masturbatory fantasy that it is necessarily becomes so obvious that if I'm watching it with kids, that they like younger kids, they're going to go, what? Why is he? Why is he being so gay? Right? It's like, I don't think, but it is. It's certainly like just in the same way, Yvonne Craig in the original Batman totally goes in the spank bank, right? 100%. And I'm sorry, that sparkly purple Batgirl costume, wrapped around Yvonne Craig. That is in the spank bank forever, right? So now these are gay masturbatory fantasies as opposed to straight masturbatory fantasies. So I don't know. If I was able to, like, squint and wink and go, oh, it's all, it's just Batgirl, it's okay. If I was able to do it for that, am I able to do it for this? Yeah, because again, for me, it's not like being, metaphorically, rubbed in my face. However, they are teetering a line. But where we are at now, I felt last night was a good starting point for whatever this new era of Doctor Who is, and it could build it to be something really good. They got to undo a lot of damage, though, unfortunately, and amazingly, the David Tennant specials really hurt this. I think really genuinely hurt this. I think if they launched just with Church on Ruby Road, a lot of the animosity that they're experiencing on this side of fandom, at least, wouldn't be there, right? Those David Tennant specials were a massive letdown, and they weren't very good. But people are taking nitpicks as if they are massive plot holes. And nitpicks is something we've had for ages. And they're in everything. Here, I just pulled this out today. Nitpicker's Guide for Next Generation Trackers. This is a book where it's just like everything wrong with every episode of the Next Generation, right? Conundrum Toteboard. Let's have a look what this was. Given Riker's resistance in Encounter at Farpoint that Picard remain on the ship for his own safety, the number of dangerous planets visited by the captain, 22. Right? Things like that. Equipment ordered, changed premises. Near the beginning of the show, Wolf and Guinan practice together in the phaser range. What episode is this one? In Theory. Is it In Theory? Hang on 1 second. I think so. Or the next one. The pages are stuck together. It worked. Redemption. Oh, okay. Oh, that's a much better episode, Redemption. Fine. That's the one where Spock goes to leaves the Enterprise, right? He serves on a ship with his brother, doesn't he? That's with Wolf, right? So near the beginning of the show, Wolf and Guinan practice together their phaser range. Guinan tells Wolf she had a bet with Picard that she could make Wolf laugh before the rank lieutenant commander. Data and LaForge are lieutenant commanders, and they have 2 solid 5. Not a good bet today, he replies. The conversation seems to proceed as if Guinan has never made Wolf laugh. In the opening episode of SS Enterprise, Guinan made... Yeah, okay, exactly. Same thing. There are a lot of nitpicks, right? There are a lot of nitpicks. One thing that was on nitpick, however, was as Mega Geek has very graciously omitted the Goblin spaceship, the Goblin ship didn't blow up. It kind of vanished, right? So my basic, and we'll get into this when we get into the deep dive review of the episode. This is just kind of a amuse-bouche, get you into it. My basic take on it was this: that because the Doctor was discovering a new type of physics, a new type of science, that it meant something that meant their laws of physics didn't apply. So it seems to be the goblins are a incursion from a different realm, like a fantasy realm or something like that. And it seems to be like the borders of reality are much softer now than they ever have been in Doctor Who. In fact, they mentioned Mavity again last night. So it seems to be that Isaac Newton calling gravity, based on the word gravitas, obviously, would be a fixed point in time. And it seems like there are no more fixed points in time. I think this is a definite change in the Doctor Who universe, right? Now, why this is, I think we will probably address this at some point. But I think clues are being laid out now for a season, maybe several seasons worth of art. But especially in that last night's episode, there's lots of clues being laid out. It might have something to do with the salt at the end of the universe, the toy maker. Who knows, right? We generally don't know. But yeah, so this incursion from my fantasy realm came into our Earth. Why is this happening? I don't know, right? They were too busy kind of having fun to address these things. But look, I would remind you, speaking of nitpicks and things like that, I remember when I read the novelization of Encounter at Farpoint. Right, so not Encounter at Farpoint, the Emissary, Deep Space Nine's pilot, right? So there's a scene in it, right? Not in the episode where O'Brien's trying to get the Kardashian computers working, and they're not, right? And they were trying to get the shields up. And eventually kicks it, and boom, it works, right? The shields go up. That doesn't really make any sense. It's just stupid, right? So in the novelization of that, they have the scene that O'Brien kicks it. And there's a panel at the bottom that Cardassians use to activate, right? That's how they explain it. Just because we were not given all the pieces of the puzzle doesn't mean they're not there. Essentially, why did they have O'Brien kick it? Because it was funny. It gave you a good story beat. Kick it and it started to work. It gave us a good story. Did it really work in terms of logic? No, but as I was saying Ian last night, this is not fly on the wall documentary. This is a entertainment, and an entertainment for a multi-generational entertainment, right? It's something that you're supposed to be able to sit down with your kids. I would feel happy watching this with anything from my 5-year-old to my 15-year-olds. I didn't feel the same way about Star Beast. And frankly, those specials, no kid would want to sit down and watch them. This was entertaining family fare, right? Very different from Doctor Who as we've seen before. Again, a much more fantasy. The rules are much, I wouldn't say laxer, softer, right? The barriers of reality are much, much softer. So again, this was automatically filled in by my head. The scene where Ncuti and Millie sings, right? I think it was kind of like, there was a musical episode of Buffy where they all can only communicate in song. I think that, and again, why was it? Because it was fun, right? What was the actual reason for it? Because the fun to entertain a family, right? That's why. But like in story, how does it make sense? I think, and this kind of we'll see when I do the deep dive. I got like a gazillion. How many screenshots? 354, right? I have 354 screenshots. You'll see when we go through Tutor's performance, that he seems to be decoding the language of this alternate science, which feels really Doctor Who-y to me, right? There was a great line in, which was it? One of the New Adventures. We had the Seventh Doctor, the New Adventures Seventh Doctor, complaining that, humans didn't use the right people for the right jobs, right? They said, we had a psychological invasion in our, in their transit system. He said we should have had a team of like crack Zen Buddhists to go in, something like that. So because it's a different set of physical reality. So this thing's different. So why did he start to sing? I think he was attuning into the natural laws of that environment, which is a fantasy environment. People sing and dance, right? I think he was tuning into that. And once he tuned into that, they was carried on a flow with that, which is why Millie also sang, and why they also had the lyrics. They knew even though the lyrics were kind of stupid and didn't work. But the bottom line was that it worked as an entertainment, and for me, it had enough of the DNA of Doctor Who. What's the DNA of Doctor Who? It's about two friends in time and space, a young girl companion, young lady companion, and the Doctor. The Doctor's got to be authoritative, which this Doctor was, right? He's got to be authoritative, he's got to be charming, he's got to be strong, he's got to be able to deal with enemies, he's got to be a hero, right? So this Doctor was all of that, and it was also, wank material for gay people, right? So, there is that. And he can't really get by it, but he is certainly. Well, there's a lot of spank bank material for the homosexuals. God bless them. Listen, I won't begrudge anybody their spank material, right? I really won't. I think. So we got that right. So we have like all the gay spankable stuff, but he's still an iconic day. Like, he seems to have all the DNA of a Doctor. Can a Doctor be so openly spankable for, when I'm talking about masturbatory fantasies, to masturbate over him? I just want to be clear, not literally. Just when you're thinking of him, don't need a picture unless if it helps you. Well, whatever floats your boat, baby. Right? I didn't think I'd get into gay masturbation on today's show. I didn't really prepare enough. I should ask much. Yeah, I should have done some research. No, don't do that. And then you got the Millie Gibson, who I think was freaking excellent. I think she was absolutely excellent through this. Shone through her soap opera background. I hope she gets the right roles. I hope she isn't like fucked over by Hollywood a billion times over, because she's a real talent, right? So the Heart Doctor is an adventurer in time and space and his companion, right? And they're the bestest friends ever, and that's what these two seem to be, right? It seems to be that the Doctor companion relationship is up there with Joe Grant and the Doctor with Sarah Jane Smith and the Fourth Doctor. In fact, the archetypal companion moment, right, for me, is when Joe Grant throws herself in front of the Doctor in the Demon, saying, "No, take me instead, the Demon," right? Because they just want to do good, and they're brave. So I honestly think she works better than Rose did as a companion. That for me is the DNA of Doctor Who. Yeah, and it's so jarring and distracting having like a trans character in it, because look, the problem Rusty Davies has right now is the delusion that he feels that the reason people are not accepting as trans people is because they don't have enough exposure. No, the reason that people are not being accepting as trans people is because they have too much exposure, right? There's no way you can look at a trans person and go, "Oh, that's normative," right? I relate to it. When I see this bloke, Ruby's friends was wearing tights and makeup and was clearly a bloke, right? Clearly had a penis, right? So there's no way I look at it and go, "Oh, that's normal," right? I can look at two men in a relationship and go, that's two normal people in a relationship, right? When they start wearing, like, I don't know, giant moose heads for no apparent reason, that's not normal. Oh, we've got to expose the moose heads more so people get used to them. It doesn't help. It doesn't help. It makes it worse, right? And, the drag queen story out, it made it worse. It made acceptance go down, right? Because it made us look at what this is, and it's basically some kind of trans strip club thing going on, and now it's for children. You shouldn't have had us pay attention to it. That was your mistake. You say, "Oh, go look at this and look at this closely. Isn't it normal and natural?" No, fuck off. It's not, right? And I don't think that's ever going to change. I don't think they're going to be able to bring anybody around to that. But and that is probably, very likely, what could sink them. Are they going to go back the Star Beast route? Maybe, right? They may well be, right? And if they do, it's curtains for them, right? Because again, the insanity of it. The insanity of it that David Tennant and Catherine Tate didn't give him an incredible springboard. Instead, they gave him a massive weight around their neck. Right? Like literally a massive weight around their neck. It hampered this new era, right? It genuinely hampered it, right? Again, as I've already said, if the new era opened with this, it would have been much better received if it didn't have those three. Yes, again, boring, tired, old-fashioned specials. All of they were just creaky and they weren't very good. This had new life to it. This breathed life, right? So for me, it was a win, right? For me, it was a win. Now, but it's a win as far as we got to a foundation. That's just where we are. We're at a foundation, a starting block, and I want to go on this journey over the next 8 episodes and see what it's like, right? To me, it seems like, again, a new take on Doctor Who. I feel this is as much Doctor Who as Star Trek Strange New Worlds season 1 was Star Trek. I don't think season 2 was, but I think season 1 was. So, but yeah, it's definitely different. And they very much separated it from original Doctor Who with the bi-generation, right? And the changing of the lore of the galaxy, of the world. But again, if it's about a guy having adventures with their best mate in time and space, but one is a companion, one and he's a doctor, that's it. Complete. It's fine. Okay, so now he's got a different accent and skin's black. That doesn't really. It didn't really impact on it for me, right? It really didn't, right? And I'm going to be there for the. I'm looking forward to it coming back, right? Actually, I am. I want to see what this new era is because I like new, interesting, different things. And for me, this was the best Doctor Who since 2017, obviously. And again, the sea change between this and Capaldi's Last, I would say, it's the difference between Tom Baker and Peter Davison, which were really remarkably different, right? They were remarkably different styles of shows. All right. I mean, especially when you get, you got season 18, which is kind of like the bridge between the two, but even there, right? They're really, okay, by the time you get into the end of season 19, the season 19, season 20, you compare that to season 14, season 15, 17, whatever. When you compare, if you can do that comparison, it's no more jarring and different than this, right? But it is different, right? And here's the thing about Doctor Who. I think it works best when it's young, as well. When it is on the cutting edges of culture, which it really should be. That's where it works best. Look, this might not be for you. This new young Doctor Who may not be. It might not be for me. I know. What they put on screen thus far has made me say, yeah, I can consider this Doctor Who within the parameters that I've already laid out, right? And it was entertaining, and I'm happy and excited to see more, right? I think that's the where I am with it. But yeah, so that was like the broad strokes of where I am with all stuff. Fine, let's get to the chat, right? Let's get to the chat. Doink. So we have Reverend Ravenwolf here. Is that the same as Mark the Vicar, or is it a different one? How you doing, Reverend Ravenwolf? Thank you for joining us, Mr. Jekyll and Hyder's here. Howdy, folk. So was it woke? That's a good question. Was it woke? Well, certainly you had the trans singer in it. Was it shouting at me that I didn't think he was a woman? No, it didn't shout at me because I didn't think she was a woman. Right. So yeah, I don't think it was woke. And honestly, I had some really great fundamental, I think very, very Christmassy messages to it. I in terms of Christmas special, I want to compare this episode to other Christmas specials, and I want to rank it compared to other debut stories, right? Let's do that now. 1 second. Here, 1 second. We're getting a new... Let me make the font a bit bigger so I can read it. I'll share the screen. Doink. Share screen. Fine. So let's it's a bit big. It's a bit too big, darling, she cried, jigger jigger. The church on Ruby Road. Okay, and then I'm not going to count the woman who fell to us because I'm not doing the joke. Jodie stuff is always at the bottom. It's always shit. It was never Doctor Who. Right? It was never Doctor Who. I wrote, if I may say so, quite a good short story, which is a Peter Capaldi read. So forget that. So generally, what's better than that or Deep Breath? Oh, Deep Breath was cat. Deep Breath. No, you are going beneath Church and Ruby Road, 100%. Deep Breath, they made an hour and 5 minutes long, and it would have been better if they made it a regular episode. It was like 20 minutes too long, right? No, Deep Breath was like. However, 11th Hour is like the gold standard of debut episodes. So yeah, 11th Hour is fantastic. Christmas Invasion, which is better, Church on Ruby Road or Christmas Invasion? I actually prefer Church on Ruby Road, frankly. Yeah, and I bet it's better than Deep Breath, which is just crack. Okay, Christmas Invasion. It really just suffers from not having enough David Tennant in it, quite frankly. So that was David Tennant. I mean, we're not going to do War Doctor, obviously. Just one story. Then we got Rose. Was Rose better than Christmas Invasion? I think yes. Was it better than the Church on Ruby Road? It's very close, right? It's very close. I think Church on Ruby Road has it by a little bit, just by having more experience on what they're doing, right? So then I'll do the McGann story. Yeah, Enemy Within. That's fair enough. Let's think. So the McGann movie, I like that a lot. I prefer. Okay, what do I prefer? The McGann movie is better than Deep Breath, Christmas Invasion, Rose. Is it better than the Church on Ruby Road? Oh, I'm gonna say they're equal. It's a tie, right? It's a tie. They're too close. TV movie. Yeah, one sec. Enemy Within. There's a lot about that I liked, I have to tell you. Fine. So before that, we have Time of the Rani. Oh, fuck off. Yeah, fuck up that guy. That's below all of this. Time and the Rani. Yeah, no. Sorry. No. I mean, we were the boat. That's where the boat of Doctor Who started to turn around and get slightly better. But still, Time the Rani, Shakespeare compared to the Twin Dilemma. Fuck me. They are bad. Twin Dilemma. So Church on Ruby Road is doing very well. Wow, okay. So then before that, Sixth Doctor, Fifth Doctor's Castrovalva. Oh, I like Castrovalva a lot. Right? It's a bit cerebral. Okay, Castrovalva better than Deep Breath. Castrovalva better than Christmas. Yes, it's better than Christmas Invasion, better than Rose. Yeah, I'm putting it between Rose and TV movie and Church on Ruby Road. Castrovalva. Bit of Escher. I do like the new effects on the DVDs. Is pretty good. So Castrovalva. Then we have Robot. Not one of Tom Baker's best, but pretty darn good, solid story. I'm going to put that. What do I put? Yeah, no. Robot goes. What's better, Robot or Castrovalva? Which way am I going to go on that one? I'm going to go say it's below Castrovalva because I like the originality of that, right? And Robot just felt like kind of a little bit out of time. So Then we got Spearhead from Space. Ooh, good one. You know what? That's going. Yeah, like Spearhead from Space. I mean, it's nearly a perfect opening story. Is excellent. And then we got Power of the Daleks. I've only ever seen it through the animation. The animation is pretty darn good. It's a good, creepy story. I'm putting that with Church on Ruby Road and TV movie. So that's Power of the Daleks, and it's an excellent story. I really do like that. Fine, and then of course it will be Unearthly Child. Oh, where does that go? I think it goes right at the top, right? I think that goes equal to Spearhead from Space. Earthly Child. Right, fine. But another thing people talked about in the episode was, oh no, it confirmed the timeless child. I don't really think it did. He said, oh yeah, I'm adopted. I just found out. The vibe I got from this episode was this had taken place many years after the giggle, right? Yeah, many years later. Yeah. So I think it's ranking quite. How is it? 1, 2. Do I rank this at 4 then? Because I guess so. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got to add that and zeros in 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Let me do 10. Hey, you see, that's why the zeros in. 11, 12, 13. So, okay, it came out number 4 out of 13. And I think that's pretty darn strong. Right? I do. I think that's pretty darn strong. So there it is with ranked with here we go. Debut episodes ranking. Let's save this. Debut stories ranking. Doink. Fine. Okay, I think that was actually a worthwhile little experiment, don't you? Right? I think honestly, I think it like puts it in context of being one of the better debut stories. And honestly, I think it was. Right now, again, was Shooty Cat were a gay masturbatory fantasy for most of it? Yes! But the bits where he wasn't, it was quite dog-free. So was it woke? In the eye of the beholder, I would say. Darren M is here. How you doing, Darren M? Obsidian Curse is there. How you doing? It wasn't woke in the same way Chibnall stuff was woke, right? This was for me, it held together, right? And I think the complaints a lot most have about it are nitpicks rather than actual real complaints. Someone says, "Oh, baby, happy Christmas," or "Ickymus," as I like to it. Well, Ickymus will one day take over the world and be the dominant Christmas holiday. X-Men 577 is. How you doing, X-Men 577? Robert Payne is here. How you doing, Robert Payne? Who are we up to? Full Pac-Man, essentially, right? That's exactly what. Found divided by 3. Loved it. Making do. Had enough. I'm writing any of those 3 ones, Robert Payne. I didn't love it. I'm not making do. You've got me. You presented to me a foundation or something that I could watch and evaluate, see if I'm going to like it. You've got me in for the next episode. Right, so and it actually got me reasonably excited with the episode. So there you go. Obsidian Curse goes yum 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 yum. Okay, for Black Pac-Man, very appropriate. Says Mr. Jekyll and Hyde. Colin Archer, he says, I rather expect the current day entertainment, has actually trained us to expect woke messaging and everything. I think you're right, which is why the ratings are not very good, right? It's the thing that ratings tell you more than anything else that is that TV is a dying medium. Boy, I mean, it really is, and they could turn it around like that if they just cut out the gay shit constantly. Like, again, I don't mind if you're gay. Be gay. Just stop. You stop. You don't need to be that validated. Well, of course, the reason because they don't really believe their bullshit. They don't really believe that people with penises are women, right? That's why they need to be validated so hard, and they can't have that conversation, which we need that conversation. Gore Vidal is here, and he says, the I am the Doctor refrain and Gatwa modeling close-ups made me think of the film Zoolander and imagine a walk-off with Gatwa. That bit where he says, I'm the Doctor, I think he really nailed it, frankly. I just believed him to be the Doctor. JWC reviews. I think I said hello to you, but I'll say hello again. Can't say hello too much. Cam's Crash Courses. How you doing, Cam Crash Courses? Maybe teenage girls like flicking their beans too. Well, yeah, I don't know, but no, it's different, right? It's different. I would say heterosexual teenage girls get turned on by heterosexual men. When you're being very, visually, subliminally gay, you're not. I don't think you are. Yeah. I think there's got to be a thought or possibility of consummating your desired love, right? For a young lady. Paul Taylor said, I told you it wasn't only work, it was just a wolf in sheep's clothing to try and get me to accept Shooty for when the real message kicks in. I hear you. You might be right, mate. Right? You might be 100% right. I'm totally not. I'm not going to discount that possibility. As long as the tiniest children exist, I can't take it seriously. Well, firstly, you shouldn't take it seriously, and I don't think the tiniest children exist. Canon has become very mutable, right? It's possible to have one person watch it and believe, oh yeah, all the Jodie stuff made complete sense and is totally legitimate, and another person watch it and go, no, that none of that ever happened, right? I think it's completely possible to do that. Why? Because I've done it, right? I've totally done it with my. Here, 1 second. Let me pull this up. Like with this thing, right? I go listen to it. I'm telling you, it's 10 minutes long. And it's as legitimate as anything else that we've seen until what something we see on screen contradicts it. So yeah, last night he said he's adopted too, but again, I got the feeling there could have been decades, could have been hundreds of years in between the giggle in this. And he said, I only found out recently, but the vibe I got was he's was referring to something totally different other than the Timeless Children. And as long as they keep it like that, vague like that, I'm fine. Keep it vague, keep it mysterious. That's okay, right? That's totally okay. That's good, in fact, right? The problem is when it's not vague, it's just atrociously written. Like, you know, the whole Timeless Child, the tech turn stuff, all that stuff never made sense and never had any payoff. So as I said, look, go and watch them or listen to this on YouTube. And the Timeless Children are gone forever, and I really do believe that, right? Go listen to that. Oh, tell you, Nelly, you look gorgeous, darling. I mean, she really does look gorgeous. But you shouldn't take it seriously because literally everything is canon now, right? Which is a massive change, and I think it's a detrimental change, right? I think it's something that will ultimately hurt Doctor Who. I'm talking about seeing what they put on screen in front of me. This was. Fine. Time feels fine. It was again, I could sit with it with my kids, our grandkids, 5 to 15-year-olds, and we would all have a good time. and for me, it's got the essence of Doctor Who. Where are we up to? Basically, I haven't watched since Jodie due to New Who having a need to change everything about the show. Again, I told you, for me, it's got the DNA of Doctor Who, right? While changing a lot of everything else, it does have the DNA of Doctor Who. Plus, they ever screwed it. We certainly screwed it with Starbeast. I wonder if it's going to be permanently sunk because of that, which is a real shame. I have to tell you, it's a real shame. The science was similar to the Shakespeare Code. It really had its own internal. Yes, exactly. Oh, good example. Right? Good. That's exactly what it was. Oh, very Obsidian Curse. Very good example. In fact, I'm going to be using that relentlessly now. But yeah, that's an excellent example. The real I think these will say Mavity and coin the word from gravitas. It's just stupid and lacks respect. It's the dumb. Yeah, no, I get it. Those specials were cack. Oh, and like, why are they? I just hope Rusty forgets some moves on. Frankly, someone said it was boring. I didn't think it was boring. I thought it was. I mean, again, I'm imagining and watching it as with kids, which I think it's a litmus test to watch Doctor Who. I love watching Doctor Who with my kids. I like watching it alone, but I love watching it with my kids as well. And Doctor Who's a format that can be a lot of different things. For me, this fits still, fit into that. Steve Andrews says, "How you doing, Steve? Merry Christmas, you sir." Is this James said? Did you enjoy the episode? Yes, actually, I did. I found it quite fun. The Mitten Strawberries killed the Mementos of Bobby 75. 100%. Like literally, it was Rossi Davis kicking Shooty Gatwa in the balls, right? It was like 100%. Steve Andrews said I enjoyed it and so did my daughter. Well, that's really, I mean, like, what did the kids think? That's really the central thing. I'm glad you enjoyed it, mate. Right? It's great watching Doctor Who with your kids. It's just so much fun, right? It's so much fun. And I just thought it's something that's been lost from the world for 6 years. So I think it's nice that's about if they can just keep the gay shit in check. Okay, that's really it at this point. I like him saying maybe Millie shouldn't have. Oh, she was good, and also, she was good doing that little boogie. She's a sexy-looking young lady. I thought the song was almost like Ruby's audition, showing that she could think on her feet. Yes. Listen. Yeah, I think it's important that the art that we enjoy gives room for your own interpretation of it, right? For a lot of people, it's giving too much room. For me, it's still, this is fine. I enjoy lots of other things. If you took an episode and slapped Doctor Who theme at the beginning and I would still enjoy them, but they would be rubbish Doctor Who. See, I felt this was really archetypal Doctor Who. Like this was Doctor Who in a lot. Again, when we go over the episode, it was really, really the core of what Doctor Who is. I mean, there was lots of bits, right? And again, a lot of it was Shooter's performance. The bit where Shooter was running on the rooftops and Miller's on the rope ladder, pure Doctor Who. Right, when he was looking up and smiling at it, when they're getting into the goblin ship. I think this is, I think this was the. It struck me as being the same character as Tom Baker, right? I made Tom Baker. Problem being says this is not gay. Well, this doesn't have to be everybody's spankable fantasy, mate. But by the way, we also got to talk about Problem Being's Misshapen Planet. Awesome. Oh my god, so good. Right? Just so good. It's like, if you like the first Doctor, this is one of the best fan made things I've ever heard. Problems, mate, my hat is off you. Well, it's not, I got two hats on right now. For the music. The music is so good. There's a great little musical cue call back to the song that Susan was listening to in Unearthly Child. I can't even remember, but it was so good. It was great. It was really great. Performances were great. Stories great. I'm on board for all of it, right? And this is the other big factor. You've got to remember that fandom, Doctor Who and fandom in general, is becoming incredibly egalitarian in that we can all make our own Doctor Who, right? Especially as these AI tools become more prevalent, right? I wouldn't be surprised if next year I wouldn't be able to make my own Christmas special, right? Like video, TV version that would be indistinguishable, right? I think that's coming, right? I do think that's coming. And then we're in we're in great times, right? Let's just admit that the universe now has one less great TV concept in it, the one we grew up with, which is no longer being made. Well, again, I disagree with it. It is being made. Like I made it with my Toy Maker for Christmas. Problem being made it. You can get them on Big Finish sometimes, but hit and miss. Let me say. But yeah, no. Again, this is qualitatively different. I mean, other than those, it's pared it down to its most basic, the most basic points of what Doctor Who is, and move forward. And I think that's probably the best way to go. Where we say, this is James says it doesn't seem weird him singing as he is a doctor. It's almost like he was speaking their language. That's exactly what I think he was doing. Well, Ruby should have been more nervous and bad at singing. Again, I think that was hooking into the magic, right? The laws, the laws of that reality. So we come from interesting sci-fi drama to spank bank for some gays and family entertainment, song and dance. It ain't Doctor Who. That is. Well, I know. Again, I think if you have the core of the Doctor and companion having adventures in space, time and space, which they got the pieces for. Let's see if they do that, right? I'm intrigued to see what these next eight episodes are going to look, and I'm looking forward to them, right? Where are we up to? I do think Rossi Davis was wrong to come back, says Steve Andrews. I think you're probably right. Right? Funnily enough, I think you're probably right, but but this is the first time we've really got to look at what this new era is, and for me, it was welcome. Again, we will do the deep dive review when I finish the chat, and we'll see what's going on. It was Disney that wanted the season to start at 1 again. I believe that, but it's probably not a bad idea in terms of branding. I do think this is the right. This is its own entity. I think everything post Capaldi has been something different, right? Where are we up to? A new Hinchcliffe would be nice. Well, here's the trouble. Hinchcliffe isn't really Hinchcliffe unless he had Holmes, right? Philip Hinchcliffe Presents, they did on a Big Finish. They weren't really that great, those stories, because it was a combination of Hinchcliffe and Holmes. That's why I always said, I wish when they stopped doing Doctor Who, they got a budget for like a 8-part adult drama serial at 9:30 on Thursday nights, right? I would love to see what they would do with that. Like, I would love to see what Robert Holmes would do with that and Philip Hinchcliffe, and I bet they would have come up with something like really, really wild, right? Absolutely crazy. When during the classic era was Doctor Who on the cutting edge of culture? All the time! What are you talking about? From Unearthly Child onwards. Right? Unearthly Child was white hot. It was like, the Daleks? That was the cutting edge of culture. Oh my God. The radioactive Nazis in little tanks. Yeah, no, that in 1963. Okay, so in 1963, it was 18 years after World War II, so that will take us back to 2000. Where 2023, 18 minus 23 is take us to 2005, right? It's not that far ago, yeah. And then when we got to the Pertwee era, it reinvented itself. It became like the X-Files of the day. John Pertwee was a very contemporary James Bond-like figure. Reinvented itself again with Tom Baker. Again, also very contemporary with Peter Davison. It floundered with Colin Baker, but rebounded nicely and it fitted back into the zeitgeist of culture for the last 2 seasons of Sylvester McCoy. McGann was a one night only, but he was a bit of a pastiche of a Doctor. I think Rose was very contemporary TV in the Ninth Doctor, as was the 10th Doctor. So yeah, it was always. I think. Rabbi seems to be hoping the Star Beast and the Bi-Generation were just a blip. No, I don't think they were. Right? I don't think they were. I think every indication is this series will take the great ingredients that they put on screen so far and fuck it up. Okay? That's what I assume will happen. At no point do I think, oh yeah, this is going to work out great, right? This is going to work out. It might do. I hope it does. I like this special was better than I thought it possibly could be. But I'm certain that we will set the true tone for this coming season. Time will tell. Paul, you are more likely right than wrong. I want you to be absolutely again. You are far more likely you are right than you're wrong. Let's just get back Capaldi and make him regenerate and retcon the last 6 years. Yes, I think you're right. Soap Opera Who, says Raven Williams. The story wasn't bad. It just wasn't good. 4 episodes in, and they're not hitting any heights. This was the biggest height they hit. Right? And again, the height they hit for me is they put ingredients on the table where they could build something interesting out of it. I don't even think it's going to be that incredibly popular. The ratings weren't great. And again, they got TV's a dying medium. Hot Steam Escapades with Houdini. Funny thing is, here they were that was a reference to a Big Finish story. So I can find that. Hang on. Where is it? There you go. Big Finish. How do you spell Houdini? Which wasn't sexual in any way, shape, or form. Wasn't even that great a story. It was a 6th Doctor story. It actually wasn't bad, as I recall. This one. Share screen. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that line was actually a direct reference to this. Harry Houdini's War by Steve Lyons. A 6th Doctor with Harry Houdini as his companion, essentially. The world is at war, and Harry Houdini wants to fight for his adopted country. He might get the chance when an old friend crashes his New York show. The Doctor is on the trail of a Central Powers spy ring, which has somehow acquired an unearthly technology, but he is also keeping a dangerous secret, fighting himself on the run behind enemy lines. The world's greatest escape artist has his work cut out. But has his work cut out? Who he has to work out who he can trust and fast. So they're actually referencing this story, right? Weirdly enough, I thought so anyway. 1 second. Screen doink. Well, I'm so behind on the chat. I thought I was doing good. Is Mrs. Flood Susan? I don't know, but I like the setting up the mystery, right? I don't think Mrs. Flood is Susan because she, a lot different things. I think she was a companion of this Doctor for a little bit. Maybe she was Ruby. Who knows? But every other Doctor had a last scene appearance and then a complete introduction story. Ncuti effectively combined the first and last story in the giggle. Yeah, it was a bad idea. Ncuti got fucked over by David Tennant, right? And I don't think he resisted at all. If Ruby's mother's herself and it's a closed loop paradox, when she is both a mother and a daughter, well, that would be a weird sexual fantasy. You have a mother and daughter and they're the same person. That's very creepy. Okay, you know what very creepy is? Okay, let's say I told this to my son. Let's say your kid comes out as being gay, right? Okay, fine, whatever. But then he brings home his boyfriend, and you know how girls get attracted to people who are like their fathers, and boys get attracted to women have the qualities of their mother. That's pretty true, actually. He brings home his boyfriend, and he looks like a young version of me. Mark the Vicar is here. I have not watched it. It's in. I've not had the vax smug bastard award. Well, I think you should. I think you deserve it, right? I think you deserve. I think this lad is an older version of Ruby. Could well be, right? Could well be. Probably is not remotely interested. Again, check out his Misshapen Planet. It's really good, right? Be fair, yeah, Sarah Jane was the perfect 70s feminist in the 70s. Doctor Who's always been very, very contemporary. Yeah, okay, you want robot number one, says Problem Bring. I don't know. Like, I like the robot, but it wasn't that great, right? Man, everyone's saying robot by a country mile. Put robot. Wait, fine. Let me re-examine. Robot number 8. I don't know. I think you wait. Let's look at this again. Let's look at this again. Share screen. See, for me, Robot felt like a hangover, like a leftover script from Pertwee, and it didn't really work. I mean, it wasn't a bad story. I mean, I put it above Rose and Christmas Invasion, and it's nearly at that. I mean, I would rather watch Castrovalva, right? But I think Power of the Doctors TV movie, Church and Ruby Road, Unearthly Child, Spirit Space, and 11th Hour are all unquestionably better than. So we're talking about 1 point, right? They're all unquestionably better than Robot. Power of the Daleks, yes, that's a solid script. That's a great script. TV movie, I love that. I think it's a great bit of entertainment. Church and Ruby Road, well, we've been talking about that. That might be the controversial one. Unearthly Child better than Robot? Yes, it is. Spearhead Space better than Robot? Yes, it is. 11th Hour better than Robot? Yes, it is. Right. I don't know, unless you want to say no. It's up to you, baby. It's up to you. Because I thought this special was more entertaining than Robot. Problem is, how is it lower than the special? I thought the special was more entertaining, right? I thought it was Robot's something I would sit and watch and enjoy for myself. But I would have to have a grandkid who really gets into Doctor Who before they would even think of getting there, right? It's not something I can share with another generation, which is such an important factor to me, right? It really is such an important factor. This is James says onions are forever. Well, I can't. Some people say diamonds. You say onions. I like that. Think the rabbit is drunk with the list. Way twin dilemmas at the bottom, baby. I don't know. Is this how the woke virus starts? Okay, let me tell you. I had a bit of a freak out today. This neighbor came round who was like the closest to being non-binary in our community. I'm not sure like what the deal is. It's not my business. I'm not going to get involved with an arse, right? But it turns out the white cat we got, who is growing, who's like 3 times the size that she was about a week ago. Like we're trying to find a home for her now. And apparently it was the neighbor's cat. I'm like, but it turns out it wasn't. She was an outdoor cat, right? They just left food for her. I'm like, no, this is indoor cat now. Like we got her the shots and everything. This, so I thought my wife was just like, yeah, take this cat, make her live outside. I don't give a shit, right? So I was not overly happy about all that. But because I said this person might, I don't know what their deal is, right? But I said if you give them the cat, they're going to think she's a dog. Watch out. For me, Power and Robot are the best. The rest of the range incredibly disappointing. Ruby Road was a great episode, but it had a few problems. Certainly had a few problems. Vasco, I completely agree with you. Steve Andrew says no, it wasn't woke. I don't think it was woke, right? I think it was woke adjacent. I like seeing the Beatles portrayed in the preview clip. Hopefully we'll be looking at that, but I don't think there'll be anything more of them actually in the story. Probably not. Oh, you started it. Oh, great, brilliant. I have to plug this thing that you did. I forgot. I'm sorry. Okay, I got swallowed up by. Well, where was that? Where was the link? Hang on. let me find the link. So Elodie Starr has made his own stop motion animated Doctor Who, which is a lot of fun. I would recommend, right? I would recommend that you get some AI voices in there rather than having speech captions and some music. But where is it? Where is it? It's oh, wait a minute, I can find it over here. Hang on. We'll go to, if I go here, I'll look for the word motion. There you go. I'll look for the okay, it came right up. Look at me. So there you go. Go over here, please. Subscribe, give it a like. You know, fan made stuff is the way to go. Especially. I really want to talk about Misshapen Planet Type. It was so good, right? I'm actually really psyched I'm more psyched for the second episode of that than I am for this new series. I'm so sorry, Steve Andrews' cousin passed away, and it was a subscriber. I'm doubly sorry now. Blimey. Nobody cancel his Google account. I want to keep that sub, baby. I hate to be partisan, but you got to look after yourself, baby. Do we have the overnights of the episode yet? Yes, it was 4.76, so it's a rise. I'll talk about it after I get to the tab, but it was a rise, and relatively good news, I think, for it. Philip Bogart, how you doing? I mean, look, it wasn't good ratings because you don't get good ratings on TV anymore, right? But it did. I think it did. It probably did as well as they were hoping it would do. So you're so glad they didn't race swap the Beatles. Oh God, could you imagine? I bet it was stupid race swaps in the episode. It's so much better for being authentic. I agree with you completely. Right? I agree with you completely. Gary Reed is here. Hey, doing Gary Reed? Thank you for joining us. 4.73 overnight. Yes, we will talk about that shortly. Whizzing through the chat now. Okay, I'm still 20 minutes behind. Really? We have to talk about problem being misshapen planet. He has seen a pronoun the unavoidable doctor about it. We find the showrunner after RCT just retcons the timeless children to win back the general public. This will be too late by then, right? Rabbi's Christmas special will feature a lot of Perry and Ruby. Oh God, yes it would. Yes it would. I mean, honestly, let's say the Rabbi's Christmas special will be something like I have Ming the Merciless's sex ring, right? And I love in Flash Gordon, the first thing Ming does when he sees Del Arden, only in the 70s version, is he hits her with a sex ray from the ring. Right? It's like Ming. And then he goes, she goes off to be his sex toy, right? And they have other sex slaves there with it. I want Perry and Millie to do that. That sounds great. Latest 8 Stops of Christmas Big Finish wasn't too bad. Problem was with that is the companion Audacity, who is like nails on a fucking chalkboard. The first story was the best one, 24 Doors. Second, because she was hardly in it. Second one, she was in it a bit more, and it was much weaker. And third one, whenever she was in it, she was nails on chalkboard, right? But it was better than their first set, right? Absolutely. Next thing, Disney will buy BBC. Disney probably not making it to 2025. In terms of just a different answer about it, as in it not being Doctor Who's problem being, well, okay, that's a hard bar. That's a hard bar to get over. HM in the UK has got the beginning set for $9.99. So Steve Andrews, that's a great idea. That's a great little set. Rabbi, it was hot and steamy summer between Harry Houdini and the Doctor. Yeah, no, that story took place in the summer. I just think they were adding in, a bit of, what's the word again? Salation, right? Salation. Liam Nielsen's chin. I tried again. I screwed up. Liam Nielsen's chin is here. I will find you, and I will kill you. How are you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us. What about would Gatwa have been cast if he wasn't black and gay? Probably not. Probably not. Right? Look, Rusty Davis went in. He wanted a gay masturbatory fantasy. Okay, which is what this Doctor is. Right? Did Ruby's adopted grandmother fancy Shooty? I didn't get that vibe. Well, I thought she was like, well, what's he doing here? Right? It was an hour too long, dude. It was only an hour. Matthew Powder. Robo introduced a new Doctor in the most unusual way. Well, yeah, listen, he was like that first episode when he's got all the different costumes coming on. But honestly, it was only... Yeah, it was the first episode where he's crouching down with the dandelion and it was pulverized, right? That's the moment where he first really felt like the Doctor. But honestly, it wasn't really till not Spear from Space, till Ark in Space that I think he really, which was the next story, right? Which is when he comfortably eased into being the Doctor, right? Tom Baker clips everyone after him. Yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, I think Sylvester McCoy was the first one really to come out of the shadow of Tom Baker. Then he was cancelled, right? And then you had Paul McGann was basically a pastiche Doctor, right? He was an amalgam of what you expected the Doctor to be. But by the time you got to Eccleston, you were totally out from the shadow of Tom Baker, right? Totally out from there. But yeah, no, I do. You're not wrong, right? They cast a long shadow. We might have had a different actor from Tom Baker onwards, as Pertwee might or not have left if Roger Delgado. It could well be true, right? I always thought the Graham Crowden casting would have been good, right? I like Graham Crowden. Although was it Graham Crowden? No, I think the who am I thinking of? Commander Ivanov, also lonely. Russell Hunter. Freaking love Russell Hunter. He is a great actor. Reason I don't use AI is because I would like the audience to imagine who will be a great voice for the role. As for the music, I don't want to copyright strike. Dude, you just go to the YouTube copyright library, music library. Right, but it's a lot more work. I mean, that's a draw. But everybody, please check that out. Definitely give them a like, give them a sub. It's all good, baby. Fine. Tom Baker, Davison, Troutman on my top 3 Doctors. Fine. Caught up with the chat. Excellent. So, shall we look at the ratings first, or shall we go into the episode? By the way, next year, I'm waiting till I have grandkids, and I will be buying this book for them for their Hanukkah present. Listen, this is the greatest book ever. Hookers and Blow, Save Christmas. Darling, Hookers and Blow always save Christmas. Let's be frank. Hookers and Blow always save Christmas. I mean, like, that would always make a Christmas better. Yeah, fine, over here. Ratings. So, yeah, the King got 7.48. I mean, even the King only got 7.48. Strictly 5.29, Doctor Who 4.73. So this is the across all the channels. So fine. So it did better than Call the Midwife, which is pretty. I mean, I first thought, is that a rerun? Call the Midwife. Did better than Michael McIntyre. Did better than Stenders. Well, that doesn't get ratings anymore. So my thing of did better than Ghosts. I mean, like basically, it was only beaten by Strictly. I mean, you can't really count the King. That's across all the channels. And again, why? Because they just make shit on TV. Now, the good news about this, I think, for Doctor Who is it's rebounding and going in the different direction that it was going from the specials. Right, let me just pull this up. Where is it? Doink. Yeah. Over here. Doink. So You see it went down. It got 5.08, then it lost 200,000 people after the intense wokeness of the Star Beast, right? It was like a bit of vomiting in their own mouth. All right. And then it went down another couple 100,000. Now it turned that around. I think it turned that around because the giggle was, generally speaking, not that woke, not that preachy, not that in your face. I'm hoping people like Ncuti Gatwa, frankly, right? I mean that's really their only hope to climb out from honestly, David Tennant was a disaster. So you got 4.73 as an overnight, and again, yeah, I understand it's very low because again they killed TV, morons that they are. Yeah, do I have the rating? Yeah, I should have it here somewhere. Ratings dive, is it that's Doctor Who rankings. Never say never again. Oh, I got to do it. Maybe I'll do that on next show. Like we'll because the James Bond movie is Christmas, baby. What was it? Season. There was some kind of comparison. Season 10 to 12, was it? So yeah, Capaldi's season 10. So his final special, I think, the Doctor Falls, got 5.06. That's consolidated, isn't it? Was it season 10? Yeah, 5.64. Right, so that'd be the consolidators. That's probably, this will probably do better than that, right? This will probably do better. So I think this is considered a success for the BBC. Frankly, I think they're feeling quite happy about this figure, even though they probably aren't feeling happy about any figures because they're all very bad, right? They are all very, very bad. Fine. Let's have a deep dive into the actual episode, and we'll go through it. If you haven't seen it, spoiler, but don't worry about it. There's not that much to spoil, right? But again, the tone of the production is very different. There, you get that straight out, right? Because you get a voiceover from Ncuti Gatwa, basically, introducing it. You got the direction's excellent, by the way. The guy who directed Rosa, man, he's got a lot better since then. So it starts off, you see the snow falling. Unfortunately, the snow is much better before health and safety came along and made you not. And if we can use some more environment destroying stuff. So we have this is the church on Ruby Road, and the doctor narrates it. This woman who looks like Jodie, I think it'll be Millie. I will find out. Has a baby. That's not what a newborn looks like. Are you out your mind? But okay, fine. And leaves it outside in the snow, outside of the church, I guess. And the priest comes out and looks after and takes them in. And the clock strikes midnight, right? And the doctor walks out crying, and he says, "But the time traveler came and changed everything," or something like that, right? It was again for me. His take on the Doctor is different. So my basic vibe I got with this is that David Tennant's Doctor, David Tennant's 14th Doctor, just lives and chills out and has a very, very chill life for the next 100 years, 200 years, till he regenerates, 300 years, 500 years, right? And then he regenerates in a super chill Ncuti Gatwa. It must have been he hung out with people with Scottish or Rwandan accents that he liked a lot, which he emulated. But now this Doctor is very, very emotionally removed from previous Doctors. He's very fluid, very unconcerned about himself, very open to things. But still, I think he's the Doctor who has just gone through some personal healing. Like all the angst of the time were well gone. He's just he's living in the moment. He strikes me as if you ever seen Breaking Bad. There's a I think in the middle they start going to a drug rehab group, right? Basically to sell drugs to people there. And the guy running it has this who was a massive alcoholic or coke fiend or something, ended up accidentally killing his kid, and has gone through all that pain and trauma, has become a very stable and mellow person, which is how I feel Shooty Gut Doctor is, right? But still feels like the same guy to me, right? So let me get the titles. Titles I like a lot, right? I do like these titles a lot. Yeah, I think they're just good production value. So fine. So now again, this is Miller's story. This is. I mean, honestly, we don't get to see much of the Doctor in this. We get to see more of him than we did in Christmas Invasion. And it starts off being with Davina McCall. She's got this show that she finds out the DNA of trying to put orphans, foundlings, together with their parents by using their DNA search. So and she's recounting the story of how she got left, and she is just gorgeous. I mean, just ridiculously gorgeous, right? And while they're recording, there's some like little cackling noises in the background, and essentially they're naughty goblins there causing trouble, right? You see a goblin reach up and move the coffee over, and then stretch this wire out, and then some woman gets the coffee and knocks over the lamp and nearly kills her. And then 3 weeks later, oh yeah, fine. So now we're dragged out of it by your weird insanity about trans people, Russell. Right? The Doctor's watching Ruby. So it seems I don't think this story is as linear as it appears to be. I think he's been circling Ruby for quite some time, right? About something's going on. And the Doctor is definitely like observing Ruby, right? So, and again, we have this trans guy. And I hate to tell you, look, Russell, here's the thing. If you want to have a conversation about trans people, that's fine. But what you want to do is just scream me into submission. Like, how do I know this guy isn't mentally ill, right? How do I know he's a woman and not mentally ill? Because like he's got a penis and he's not a woman. I mean, he's dressing as a woman, right? But how do I know he's not mentally ill? How do I know he's a woman? Why are you so freaking sure about it? And why did you scream at me to shut up when I ask you these questions? Which seems perfectly... Like, if I'm genuinely concerned that this is a mentally ill person and you're encouraging mental illness amongst children by inserting this person in it, well, you need to have this conversation. Oh, how dare you? How could you say that? Because it's an important fucking issue. If you're going to be real about this is a conversation you need to be able to have. And quite frankly, the activist trans movement aren't up there, right? They're not up there essentially because of people like Russell Davis trying to normalize this. The reason they don't let you speak is because they need to be validated because they know it's not real, right? But and like you just, I think you're causing trans people more harm, right? The more visibility you have, the more people go, yeah, there's no way they can view that as being normal. Whereas in terms of black people, right, in the 70s, yeah, or Pakistani people in the 80s, right? Yeah, a greater interaction with them, and you get to see that they're just normal people. When the people you want to show as being normal people, their central, most identifiable trait is them being abnormal. You're not going to be able to show that. Right, like when you had Barry and whatever his name is on EastEnders, like one of the first gay couples, you just saw normal people having a relationship, right? You saw beyond, so that normalcy helped. Here it doesn't help because it's a bloke in a fucking dress, right? And it doesn't stop being a bloke in a fucking dress just because he says I'm a girl, right? And then we got the other story. Let's say that he's not mentally or she's not mentally ill. Let's just say that's the case. And then we got to talk about the women's sports and women's spaces. Like that's a lot to be worked out. All these things you just shout into silence, right? And these are honest, genuine, real questions. But basically, look, when you have things like this on TV, normal people get skeeved out, right? This is why Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light has imploded, because Dylan Mulvaney skeeves people out because he's fucking weird, right? Because he's a guy with a 5 o'clock shadow saying he's a little girl. That's fucking weird, right? And I'm not saying round up any all these trans people and put them into camps and kill them. Absolutely not. They can be trans. I don't care. But will you stop portraying it as if it's like a boon to society, which it isn't. It's a boon to people like you, Russell, right? When I think people like you, I don't mean gay people. I mean like weirdo champagne socialist activists. And generally speaking, I think Russell's a pretty darn good person. I think he's just been subsumed totally by the evil woke mind virus, right? I think that's really the best way of explaining it, right? But anyway, so why are we having this conversation that's somewhat disparaging about trans people? Because you inserted it into the conversation. So next, Millie's at a club on her own for some reason. I mean, like, how people are not flocking around her is beyond me, right? And now we get the doctor dancing. So I think this works in terms of the character. But again, you can't detract that this is gay masturbatory fantasy material, right? But I can see the doctor getting to... This is more of a description of where the doctor is in this incarnation, which is pretty out there, right? Pretty like, I'm willing to try anything. I have no boundaries. I'm very, very relaxed and mellow, right? So she nearly drops a glass. And he's like, no, health and gin and tonic division. And then he goes, and then the table's been moved. So you see those little goblins have been causing trouble. So now, famous location for Doctor Who fans, right where Hendrix is. You have 4 totally normal girls and 1 penis on a night out on the razzle, right? And off they go. And look, mate, wearing the tights and like, again, me seeing you makes resistance to this, because I go, oh, that's fucking weird. That's what was up with that, right? I never said that when I saw gay people. I never said that when nobody ever said it when I saw black people, right? There's no way you can sell me a somebody cross-dressing is normal, because cross-dressing is abnormal, right? And again, but like, at least this isn't like slapping in the face like what was Starbeast. And also in character, I'm kind of in story. I don't mind, because I see somebody like Millie in 2023 would probably have a trans friend, right? Because it's always something a badge of honor. Meanwhile, the doctor sees that there's a giant snowman about to fall down. Just drenching. No, that's Jasmine Finney. And so he changed the sonic screwdriver so the light goes green. They drive away, and then he sees somebody with a pram. He's like, out the way! And this is a good shot, by the way. Again, this is where Rose worked, and the head falls off. Boom. And the doctor comes out and says, what are you doing with a pram at midnight? You shouldn't be, you have a baby at this time? She says, I'm doing Christmas shopping. Piss off, right? So then, again, this can be looked at 2 ways. Somewhat as a gay masturbatory fantasy, which I'm sure it's going to be. And also not as that. That you can, I could view Perry as a American botany student who happened to like to dress like a slut, or I could view her as masturbatory wank bag material, and she was both, right? She was both. But for me, again, in the world of Doctor Who, this doesn't. That I know that if you're gay, you'll be able to stroke yourself off to this. Doesn't really bother me, right? So it's the whole like twink older man scenario. And he's like, I'm going to have to report this. As okay, name the doctor, occupation, not a doctor. I live in that blue box over there. So he heads over there. And I thought this was a very doctory moment, right? I thought this was a really good doctory moment. He says, oh, she's going to say yes and marry you. He said, well, like, what do you think? Well, my sonic screwdriver, and I like his new sonic as well. I'm not really up there to buying. I'm buying in merchandise, right? I'm not. I have to see how the season is before I buy the Blu-rays, right? But I would be open to buying this if this season is good. But I'm not really up there to get the. I might get an action figure of Shooty, but I'm not buying the sonic screwdriver. But I do think it works, though, right? Dan H didn't know what a twink is. Well, there you go. That makes him perfect to be made into a twink. Fine. So yeah, we got a great bit saying he's detected a 2-carat diamond. So he knows his fiance's girlfriend's going to say yes. Says, well, how do you know? Says, well, you got a 2-carat diamond. The sales start next week, but you couldn't wait, and that because you love her so much, and that's why she's going to say yes, right? And again, it was Holmesian deduction, in a Doctor Who setting, which again I think very much works, right? And it was fine, right? It was fine. Again, this Doctor is just like, I'm going to wear a kilt today. I don't give a shit, right? And off the TARDIS goes, and it's not really a problem when seeing the TARDIS disappear. People are like, oh, okay then now. And he just walks away and says, oh, she's going to say yes, right? So next day, there's a bus from Westminster. I'd like, what's going on here? House of the Parliament to Notting Hill Gate. You get the tube. But anyway, off Millie gets with the shopping. Here's all the location filming that we've seen. So here's an interesting thing. Anita Dobson's Mrs. Flood is there's a lot more going on with her story than we see in this episode. I think this episode is putting out little breadcrumbs that are going to be tied together over the upcoming 8 episodes. Because when she first starts, she's pissed off. Somebody has parked the TARDIS right in front of her house, and she's blaming this Muslim guy about it, and saying, nobody can get by, and she has no idea what it is. And Ruby's like, and she's like mad as hell. And Ruby's like, well, that's all strange. And then in she goes. Meanwhile, Goblin Hand comes out and scratches the bottom of the bag and loses her groceries. She goes in, and we get to meet the extended family. Now, I was concerned for probably the wrong way, the wrong word for it, right? You think Michael Q says Mrs. Flood is River Song? That's interesting. I like that we're talking about it, frankly, right? So I thought her adoptive family were 2 lesbian lovers. No, it's a mother and daughter, and I'm quite relieved about that. It feels like it's not, again, smacking me in the face with the message. So she says, "Oh, I dropped the eggs," but then she comes in, and her mother, who first says hello to her grandmother. Her mother says, "We're having a baby. We're having a baby." It's like, well, apparently they're foster parents. And they've just had call. They're getting a baby today, right? So they're all excited, getting the crib together, and the baby arrives. I have to tell you, look, I don't know if Millie's acting here seems very naturalistic. Like she seems like genuinely like a young lady with her giving a baby to look after. They're just like this. They're like, oh, so cute, right? She's very feminine, right? Which is what I like. Like, and they're not feminine in a sexual way, but she's feminine in a feminine way. So they gives her the records, and they said they get her set up in the bedroom. And said, oh yeah, we better go get some diapers. They try to find some diapers, but they're for 6 months old, so she has to go shopping for some. And she's got a thing which says, I take a picture of all the kids I foster. So you still get filmed for that camera. So the incredible thing is, you just wait, they come back in fashion. And that's exactly what happened with these cameras. So she puts the picture on the fridge of all the people that she's fostered, and you start to paint a picture of this really lovely woman, right? And I think it's a very lovely, very genuine, very 3-dimensional woman, right? Tzvi Lebetkin says, "Got on to the flood, a worldwide disaster of literal biblical proportions, which wiped away the evil people to make way for the virtuous." Hidden message. Probably, right? Probably. But I'm just going on what I'm seeing right now, right? What I'm seeing right now, I'm fine with. And so yeah, we talked about. She talks about all the people that she's fostered, and she goes out and she's going to do a shop. She's going to get stuff for the baby. She's going to get new diapers. She's going to get the eggs. And Ruby's in charge, right? So then she gets a call, and it's from Davina McCall. It says, "Not great news, I'm afraid. I know it's your birthday. Her birthday's Christmas Eve. No, they can't what? Rabbi? They can't. Tell me what they can't. I was going to say it's Christmas Eve, but she's got bad news for her, right? They've done like DNA searches, and they can't find any trace of her whatsoever, right? Like no trace of her whatsoever. No idea who her parents are, and she's very disappointed. Like she's sorry, she tries to like hide her, but isn't overly successful. So then she asked, have you been experiencing some bad luck recently? And she said, look, I've had all this weird bad luck, and it goes back to when we first met. And he said, yeah, but I'm just being clumsy. I said, no, I don't think it is that. Like, I was trampled by a moose. All these things happened. And then all of a sudden you see the Christmas tree and the naughty goblin hands, and the Christmas tree falls down. It looks like it's going to kill her. Ah! And she signs off, right? So you have no idea what happened to her. Then you hear these weird little cackling voices from the baby room. So she says, oh, as her motherly said, rule number one of looking at being in charge, don't lose the baby, right? Do not lose the baby. Don't eat the baby. The other white meat. She goes in, and the baby's gone, right? The baby's gone. She's like, what's going on? And she finds the camera, and there's a picture of a goblin there. They took a picture of himself by mistake. And she sees the goblins just climbing out the skylight, and she's like, what the hell? So this is very good at setting up who this companion is, because a companion needs to be brave and ballsy, right? Just that's what a companion needs to be. I think they did the same thing with Rose when she swung across the parapet and used the anti-plastic against the altar, right? The establishing who she is, and she was like what? Did you just hiss at me? And she was good. She was good at like dealing with them, right? And they have the baby, and they better take it up. So she climbs up on the rope ladder. So again, my theory for this, this is how it seems to me. That these goblins come from, as we're going to be talking about later on in the episode, have a different set of rules of reality, right? So I think they're from a different reality, or like realities are merging or something. It's something to do with mavity being gravity being changed to mavity. Now reality is now mutable. There are no fixed points in history, and you make a change, and then then think things change. So anyway, so she's hanging on to the rope ladder, and then I think this is pure Doctor Who now, right? We get lots of pure Doctor Who moments. The Doctor's running over the roof as she's on the ladder, and he is great at this. He hardly noticing the chimneys, just hopping over them. This is what I like the Doctor to be, right? I like the Doctor to be competent and in charge, right? Basically, Ruby's just another Rose Tyler. No, she's starting off very similar to that. Russell is bringing anything new to the table? Yeah, apart from current day thinking. I think so, right? The fact that she's adopted, the mystery of her background. This is like Rose meets Clara, I would say, if you're talking about modern Doctors. But again, the chemistry we see between them is Joe Grant, third Doctor, Sarah Jane Smith, fourth Doctor, right? We really see the chemistry. Right, so what are you doing? Like, why did you get onto it, right? And he jumps over, and it's great. Like, he jumps over and he's on the ladder with it, and he's very charming, right? I like that smile, right? I'm imagining it from Ruby's point of view because you see the back of her head, right? That smile is reassuring and disarming, right? When Jodie smiled, I got scared. Like when Jodie smiled, an angel lost its wings. Making Frank come out isn't making me like her more. That's probably true. So then they're on this ladder as it goes up, and you're like, I can't hold on. And he's made these sciencey gloves that put all this is where they say gravity. They put all your tension and stress and gravity just in the hand, and it takes it on, so you're free. And then the music for this was really great, right? Where he like swings freely and shows how is this seen as a do I have it as an MP4? No, it's MKV. It probably won't play. Right, but the scene where this scene on that the music that I thought was pure Doctor Who, right? Like he's really selling me that he is that character, that adventurer, right? An adventurer in time and space, a devil may care adventurer in time and space, right? And that's who he is, who's deeply moral, right? It's ticking all the boxes for me for what I'm expecting to see from Doctor Who. Great effect shots as well as they get pulled up above the clouds, and again this glee and excitement. David Tennant's Doctor did that when he saw the werewolf, right, in Tooth and Claw. The excitement of seeing something new, something he hasn't seen before, something he doesn't understand, right? Because like, why are these goblins here? Like these are fantasy. If the 15th Doctor is if the 15th Doctor say daring, I'm out here, lol. I don't think he's saying daring. But he sees like the goblin ship, and he's looking forward to it. Mavity back as the Timeless Children. Again, I don't think the Timeless Children is back. He said it was adopted and he only found out recently. Yeah, but the other thing, here's the thing. This is mutable to one's headcanon. It's being designed to be mutable to one's headcanon, right? He said he only found out recently. This seems to be hundreds of years after the events in the Giggle, right? This seems to be very. So for me, it could be talking about something completely different than Timeless Children, right? He said, I just found I was adopted. We don't know what he's referring to. Hopefully we don't find out, right? Have a bit of mystery about the character. That's fine. Fly Highland says, you know what? I realize this is the first episode since Capaldi era that I watched and not gone, those effects are shit at any point. Well, here's the thing. Again, the heart is the captain of the ship. If you why do you like somebody? Why do you dislike someone? Right? And basically, most people are equal parts arsehole and good person. Right? Why do you like somebody and dislike somebody else? It's because for some reason you focus on the person's negative qualities if you dislike them, and you focus on their positive qualities if you do like them. Right? If you that's what liking and disliking is. I think that they fuck people off so royally with their shitty 60th anniversary specials, which were a total waste of time, weren't that good, full of lots and lots of preaching. Yeah, it was just generally kind of shit in every way. That they're only looking at the negatives now of it. As I said, every story you have to have you have some blanks that your mind fills in. Mine filled in all these blanks, automatically. With the Chibnall stuff, I never did because there was too much, too many like contradictions and plot holes. Yeah, I said this early in the stream. It's worth reiterating it right now. A lot of people, when they see this picture, right, they see a square, but there's no square there at all. There's four black Pac-Men, as many people pointed out in the chat. Right, they see a square because your mind paints it in. It's what a mind does, right? It's just automatic. So for me, the problems in this, because I'm not negatively disposed to it, are easily filled in, right, and not that annoying. And again, I like this is something I could watch with my kids or grandkids. Not have grandkids yet, but I can watch with kids and grandkids, and we can have a hoot. We can have a really really fun time. right? This is fun, like watching, a Pixar movie or a James Bond movie. Just a fun time, right? So they go up and then they find the goblin, into the heart of the goblins. One of them, I think the one with the eye patch, was one of the Teletubbies. They said on Doctor Who Unleashed, it was like not Tinky Winky. It was I don't know. So they go, get them, right? And next thing you know, they're tied. And you have, again, I think a very good doctory scene, right? I would say a pretty darn excellent good doctory scene where he's where he's trying to work out what's going on, right? He's like, all this stuff. Yeah, I've never seen anything like this before either, right? And then they're trying to save the baby. And so he does a little bit of jiggery pokery, and he gets his hands untied. He used to know after a hot steamy summer with Harry Houdini. Again, a lot of this is made for kids to not notice and gay people to very much notice, right? Maybe this is for gay people to sit through with their nephews, right? I don't know, but this is lots of gay masturbatory stuff, and Millie Gibson, so that kind of works for me too. So he lets them go. So they're trying to work out how to get out. And again, this I find very Doctor Who-y, right? He's like, sonic screw doesn't work because you need screws, and they use knots with this with these rules of reality, right? You use this is a magical craft in a scientific world. What's it doing here? But he's not really working that out. He's working out how to use the technology, right? So he's working out all these what the ropes and the knots do. Oh, and no, yeah, he talked a little bit about what these goblins are, and they say they get attracted by luck. Right, weird luck and coincidence, like calls them into being, into existence, something like that, right? Because again, this is magic technology rather than scientific technology, right? But you have the Doctor trying to decode it, and that's why the goblins came essentially, because the coincidence of it being Ruby Sunday's birthday and being a foundling, and them getting another foundling on her birthday, 20 or so years later, and there's been lots of other coincidences as well, is what drew them into this reality, right? So he's trying to decode their technology, trying to work out how these knots work, and he basically does, right? And he works out how to open the door, how to climb out. Again, all this to me seems very, very Doctor Who-y. He says, "Oh look, they got the equivalent of heating ducts, not heating ducts, of air ducts." So they're trying to work things out, and we get the Goblin song. I just think it was a lot of silly fun, right? It was fun, and again, I think we're tied to the rules of this reality, which are fantasy. Right, this is a sideways step into fantasy. There is, for me, seems to be it works in the same way that Buffy the Vampire Slayer worked when they had the musical episode. But yeah, so we got a big song and dance number. We all see this many times. Where's the sci-fi? It's not sci-fi, Mr. Jekyll and Hyde. That's the thing. It's not sci-fi. Doctor Who can be hard sci-fi. Take Terminus, for example, and it's very good being hard sci-fi. Mordred Undead, most of season 20, it's very good being hard sci-fi, but certainly in the revival era, it's moved away from that, right? The template was City of Death, which is science fiction whimsy, right? And there is a lot of whimsy in Doctor Who. And there's always been a lot of whimsy in Doctor Who. Somebody pointed out, I think in the chat here, this is very similar to the technology used by the Karaites, right, in the Shakespeare Code, right? And it's where they use language to create reality in the same way. So this seems to be completely and perfectly in Doctor Who's wheelhouse. Right, it feels 100% on target. I don't think Doctor Who is a hard sci-fi TV show. right? I think it's like Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, right. Absolutely, it is. But this, I don't think so. Right? I really don't think so. It's so yeah. Also, Colin said so. Wooden Jeffries tubes. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Right? And again, say pull out the Goblin King. I do think it's fun. Right? It doesn't have to make sense because again, we're in a different fantasy reality, which this new era of Doctor Who is built into its DNA. They're able to do, which I think is separated it quite considerably from what's gone before. Right? Whimsy needs to be accompanied by sci-fi. But I think they did that right when the Doctor was explaining about the rope technology, like he was decoding a whole new type of physics, right? That was him doing that, right? That was 100% him doing that. And the singing seems to be part of the physical rules of this reality, and they're all singing and dancing as the baby is going to get eaten, and the Doctor falls down. They only care about classic as something that can be torn apart. I don't think so, because I don't think classic can be torn apart. I think this is we're so far away from classic. This is a reboot in the same way Star Trek Strange New Worlds was, right? We are so far away from classic, right? Now, does this have enough of Doctor's DNA in it for you, Doctor Who DNA in it for you? The answer is no, and it's totally understandable if the answer is no. Then the answer is no. I'm not going to, berate you for that. I'm saying for me, this is totally, totally in the wheelhouse, right? So now, okay, so now we're in the famous clip where the Doctor sings and dances. I think I got this clip. Where is it? So have a look. Here we go.
Why stop?
Right, again, so that there seems to be like if you watch his performance, he seems to be working out. Is this the same show as the show that did Caves of Androsani, for example? Yes, I think it's a very stretchable format, right? This is whimsy, and I for me the scientific explanation of why he's singing is this is him decoding the natural laws of this environment, right? And also it's fun. I mean, like again, the bottom line, because it's fun. You can come up with some sciencey reason why he has to do it, or you don't even need to bother. But yeah, you can. And I think it's like not so stressed. Why do this, Rabbi? Because it's fun. Right? It's like if you watch Doctor Who with your kids, this is something that you're going to, and this is for the Christmas episode. If it's like this every week, it's not going to work, right? They need to have more depth. They need to have more complexity. They need to have it needs to be less frothy and frivolous. Boris Johnson is a Goblin King. I kind of see that. Right? But for me, this has set the stage of the ingredients for the coming season. That I'm going to watch it with an open mind, and if it's good, it's good. If it's not, this I found entertaining. Right? I found this. It looks such a good diddly deechoo. Right? She can sing though. She holds the tune. But again, I feel. This is the Doctor tuning into the physical, to the physical laws of this universe, and now Ruby is riding that wave of that understanding. Honestly, I'm finding this entertaining. I am. I think this is great. Right? I have to tell you, I liked the Rasputin song as well. But that was a piece of entertainment in absolute shit. So far, everything that's been on screen, as you heard me take you through thus far, has been fine, has been thoroughly entertaining.
If I have understood that, bro.
By the way, Obsidian says Sod the Kid sounds progressive. No, Bugger the Kid sounds progressive. He's decoding the technology and the physics of a new environment, right? That's pure Dr. Bloody Who, mate, right? So I more watch him and go, oh, this is very good. I'm sorry. Is it serious? No, it's not deadly serious. I agree with you. But it works. So fine. So they do the song. And by the way, oh my God, Miller's ass looks so freaking good as she jives in the background. You know, got a lot of points for that right there. Yeah, and that's what I look like when I was watching. Oh yeah, more Millie. So fine. So they escape with the baby. Doing, and so they've had a little mini adventure. She goes back down, sees her gran, and her gran meets the doctor. It's like, oh, who are you? It's like, I'm a mysterious stranger, baby. Honestly, I'm getting more into this casting more I say. And yes, I think Mega Geek's biggest problem, he said he had with him, was his accent, right? Yeah, it's a different accent that any doctors have before. I agree with you. Does it make him less doctory? Not for me. Works for me, right? Again, if this is too much of a leap from Doctor Who for you, it's fine. No, I'm not telling you you're wrong. Will it probably go south? Probably. Right now, is it good? Yeah, I think it is. So like, oh, yeah, he's only got a little bit of power left in his gloves, but then they kind of forget that. And then the mother gets home and they're trying to like hide everything. Oh no! First, they're trying to look for anything that might have an accident. So, like, turn off the oven, turn off everything, and he sees all the pictures on the fridge. And here we're actually getting to the emotional heart of the episode coming up right now, and it does have, I think, a very strong emotional heart. As they look at the all the people that she's fostered, right? And it's a really lovely scene. Right, about doing something really virtuous and good about a very virtuous, good person. So they go and check on the baby. Everything's fine. The mother comes home and they're like, "Oh, what's are the goblins going to come back? What's going on?" Said, "Well, we're trying to work out." So they're trying to hide it from the mother, and they're having a great little bit of like quiet, like hissy fit arguing, like which I think really works. And you're like, "Well, where's this picture of the goblin come from? It's only a toy," and then. Ruby's like, look, Mum, can we give it a rest? I've had a really terrible day. It's my birthday. It's Christmas Eve. I had a terrible day. I got a call from Davina McCall. They couldn't find anybody for me, and it's just been a crappy day, right? And I love, honestly, as much as I love the Doctor Ruby relationship, which we saw all the way through the goblin ship thing. I love the Ruby Sunday and whatever her mother's name, Mrs. Sunday. I know the grandmother's called Cherry Sunday. So it's really cute. Anyway, so there's a bunch more coincidences happen. They keep saying, "Oh, what a coincidence! What a coincidence!" And like the lightning happens and weird things are going on. Suddenly, there's a massive the window shatters and the crack goes throughout the house, and the Doctor follows it. And he's like, look, I think this is them saying goodbye. I think they're gone. And they're gone now. And he goes around saying the baby's fine. Everyone's here. Everything's fine. No need to worry. And he said, Ruby, we should tell you a great Christmas story. And Ruby's vanished, right? He sees the picture of the goblin. The goblin's vanished. Ruby's vanished from reality. And he's like, and he coming to realize it. And then you see how the color palette has changed, and we see what Ruby's mother is now, because she hasn't had the experience of fostering all these people. She's just a cold, miserable, and lonely person, and she knows she's cold, and like the ceiling repairs itself for the timeline rewrites, and she knows she's miserable, and she knows she's cold, right? And she doesn't know what she's missing, but we do know, and it's heartbreaking, right? It's heartbreaking. This is 100% a Christmas Carol, right? The central message of A Christmas Carol is, if you're a virtuous person, it's worth the struggle to be that. It's worth the struggle to be to give, because it makes you happier, makes you a good person, makes you more rounded person. So essentially, what's gone on is they've used the power of the coincidences to open up a time rift vortex and go and get Ruby when she's a baby and eat her instead, right? So he kind of works it out. But again, like, if you don't know you're missing anything, why are you crying? It says, because they feel something's gone. And I like the emotion of this Doctor as well, right? Again, am I saying it's going to be shit tomorrow? I don't know. Right now, this to me is Doctor Who, right? This to me has all the like what I feel is necessary for it to be Doctor Who, right? So the Doctor runs into the TARDIS. I hate the TARDIS, by the way. It's way too big. So now we see Mrs. Flood. She sees the TARDIS take off. She's like, what the hell's going on? That's going to be different from the end. So then we're back at the beginning again. And he's at the church, and the goblins have the baby, have baby Ruby. And the Goblin King's going to eat baby Ruby. So he uses his magic science gloves to pull the ladder down, right? Puts all his weight into it. So and it pulls the entire goblin ship down, and it impales on the spire of the church, right? Going through the Goblin King, and then their ship it phases out from reality, right? The problem being said yesterday, not problem being, Mega Geek said yesterday, it exploded and made no sense that it exploded and the baby survived. I thought it exploded too, right? That's just like, it's incredible. That's why I like doing, rewatching it in more detail, because it just phased out from being, leaving the baby there, but nothing to hold up, and it starts falling down with the Dr. Catcher again. Very well directed episode, right? It rattled along very nicely. Where's the blood? There's no blood, right? I don't get why it phased out. I think because the death of the Goblin King somehow uncoupled it from this reality, right? These are all the questions you get answered in the novelization. I would have thought, right? Probably. And then the clock strikes midnight again, and the Doctor leaves Ruby out to be picked up, and as she's going, she sees the mother. Maybe you should have taken a bit of a scan of her, but it seems like the Doctor's been more involved in this than we have seen throughout, suggesting that maybe it's a Goblin King keeping it in this reality. That's exactly what it suggests to me, right? So she's made to look like Jodie. I don't think she's Jodie. I think it's probably Millie, right? And he goes back. He goes to check everything. Uses the sonic to open the door, and everybody's back. And everybody's still. And it's great. He said, "Oh, I went back. I saved you. You were gone." I said, "Oh, now I've got to do something else." And off goes the Doctor. She seems like she's been a companion of the Doctor now for a bit, right? Between the last time we saw her, we saw her just now when he turns up. And this time, right? She seems like she's been on like a few years worth of adventures with the Doctor. She really knows what's flying. So he says, "I just got to remember to do one thing," and he goes and saves Davina McCall, basically so he can have this line say, "Merry Christmas, Davina McCall." That's for the trailers, right? Why it wasn't in the BBC trailers, I don't know. But again, so very optimistic, and he gets called over by Mrs. Flood. And he's looking up, saying, "Am I so Billy, basically Millie is Dave Lister?" Yes, right. So Matthew Banner says Doctor keeps encountering companions as kids. Something very disturbing about that. Very BBC. You're making a good point. You're making a good point. So now he's racked with self-doubt. Was he the lodestone that brought this like bad luck to them, right? Because he really likes Ruby, right? And now you got Mrs. Flood wants to like try and talk him into taking her, even though you don't really see that. Finally, was it Cherry Sunday gets a cup of tea. She asked for a cup of tea the whole episode. And she's like, "What are we going to do with the big, all this massive hole in the roof on Christmas? No one's going to clean it, right?" And she's like, "Hey, you get about a bit in your boxer, haven't you?" And they seem to have some kind of rapport, these two. At the same time, Ruby finally is unpacking the events of the day, and she realizes he's a time traveler. Wait, he went back in time, and she puts it all together. Again, I think she's great in this episode. I really do. I think she emotionally pushes through. I also think she as well pushes through. A Doctor companion relationship can make an era, right? And I think we could be there with that. So she's like, "Oh, where'd he go?" And the all-knowing Mrs. Flood Very different from how we saw her earlier and said, points over there, right? And she looks over and the door opens, right? And she runs around the outside. So, yeah, and then Mrs. Fly says, good luck, right? So she knows what's going on. And in she goes, and they're in there, and we get, and Judy Garber, he's the doctor, right? This to me is the doctor. He says, I'm the doctor. Right, and I buy that he is, right? I really buy that he is. Maybe do that clip on YouTube. Let's have a quick look. We have Doctor Who, Ncuti Gatwa, the Doctor. Do we have that clip? It's a shame. They should really they should really post that clip on YouTube or social media because you know it works, right? Because he is the doctor, right? As my again, this is a modern interpretation of it. He's got, other than being a gay masturbatory fantasy, he also has all the DNA of being a doctor, right? So then we got New Home, New Who, Spring 2024, and off they go. Right, and so you see the Abdullah, I can't remember his name. Say, what's going on? How did that vanish? How did that vanish? And Mrs. I said, don't worry about it. Everything's okay, right? It just goes. And then she looks at the camera and goes, what's wrong? Never seen a TARDIS before, and winks, right? So I like that they break the fourth wall. Because you could also say, look, she's just talking to herself, and the camera happened to be there, right? She just told that, and the camera happened to be there. So what was presented on screen had all the DNA of an episode of Doctor Who to me. I like Ncuti Gatwa a lot. I like Millie Gibson a lot. I think their relationship is sparkling and sparking. I think he's a gay masturbatory icon. At the same time, I think he has all the DNA of being Doctor Who as well. I think the sideways step into fantasy works, and I think there's there's easy headcanonry that one can do to explain away the stuff, and it doesn't really bother me at all, right? So if it bothers you, that's great. This is subjective, right? For me, again, because I think it was an entertaining experience I could have with children that has all the DNA of Doctor Who. So they have all the ingredients set out for an interesting, exciting season coming up, which I'm going to watch. And I will report on it honestly. If I think it's shit, I'll tell you the thing. If I think it's mediocre, I think it's mediocre. We'll find out. Yeah. Problem. Somebody says thinks Mrs. Flood is old Jodie Whittaker. Could be. Who knows? Right? Everybody bi-regenerate. There's like old versions of all the Doctors now with a bi-regeneration thing, which I think was a bit of a dumb idea. Right, but let's have a look at the the teaser trailer they put out last night. So, by the first thing I'm seeing here is the multiple costumes seems to be working better than I thought. Why? Because I think Ncuti Gatwa is on his charisma and on his energy alone. He's pulling it off.
Into the vortex.
I have the whole.
I really don't like the TARDIS, so it's ridiculously big.
I have the whole universe at my fingertips.
Oh, this is new.
You can't! Happy Road Studios!
Man, that looks pretty darn good. Look at that. Okay, well, I get the whole 6 episode looks like a classy production. I hope it's good.
Studios!
All right, let's take it from the top.
Ruby, there are powers beyond the universe.
Are you getting scared because you're just babbling now?
I like that monster. I think we saw the location filming for that.
Are you getting scared because you're just babbling now?
Oh, smell faster!
No job, no boss, just fun.
Okay, yeah. One of the bad things, Yasmin Finney is definitely back. Oh, what a beautiful girl. Where? What? Where's the beautiful girl? I don't know. I can't see one. Maybe is the beautiful girl behind Yasmin Finney? That will make sense because she's got a big broad chest.
Just fun.
Classic.
I'd love it if you came with me.
Color me intrigued, baby. I mean, that's basically where we are. Color me intrigued. I liked it a lot, right? I did. I liked it. I saw it twice. If season 1 is good, I will buy the Blu-ray of that and the Blu-ray of this, right? If not, right? I don't mind. Maybe Business Flood is a recast Dota Chaplet. That'd be the third Dota Chaplet. I have the whole world, so let's go back to England again and again and again. Apparently so, right? Apparently so. Like, so again, if it's not for you, I understand. If you're worried that it's going to be like, unspeakably woke and lecture you nonstop, I understand. I agree with it. Probably is. If you don't like the grooming aspects of it, I understand. I'm just saying what they put on film, what they put on screen, entertained me, and I don't think it was dumbed down. Problem being, I think the whole thing about the fantasy logic was quite clever, right? Again, you have to see where they go with it, right? Where they go. Maybe by the time we get to the end of the season, I'll be like, well, this was excruciating shit. But where we are right now, if I went again, if they didn't do the damn stupid David Tennant specials, people would be very much more happy with this. People would be much more excited about this, right? The Tennant specials weighted this down. If you went from Shooter Gatwa, if you went from David Tennant, from Peter Capaldi to Shooter Gatwa, without having the whole Jodie bullshit in the middle, I don't think anybody would have batted an eyelid at it, right? I really don't think anybody would have batted an eyelid at it. So the problem is saying he talks like a moron, like classic. That stuff works for me because you do have the moments where he shows mettle, where he shows intelligence, where he shows the doctor's like freewheeling mind, right? So that worked, right? So that I think you could balance the two. It never worked with Jodie because she never showed the character of the Doctor, right? She never had that internal metal, right? Where he's already demonstrated it to me, right? Where he goes, I'm the Doctor. I believed him, right? I felt like he was the Doctor, right? And I think I don't know what this new era is going to show us, going to take us, but I think the pieces they put together here are solid. Right, are solid. Could they fuck it up? Fair chance. Fair chance. Time will tell. Time will tell. But I enjoy this. I haven't been able to say that about Doctor Who since Twice Upon a Time. So I'm quite happy about that. Right, I'm quite happy about that. And this, with the complete knowledge that there is the Doctor is now a gay masturbatory fantasy. I understand that. Right. But. I think it's also Doctor as well. Will it work? I don't know. I don't know if it'll take off. I don't know if it'll be successful. Look, it's going to be around for minimally two seasons. They're filming it now, right? Who knows? Who knows what they'll see? Plus, you also got to factor in the changing of the tides at Disney. With Bob Iger's is probably going to be ousted in 24. Early 24, because they've destroyed the stock value of Disney, right? The guy called Nelson Peltz and Mike Perlmutter are mounting a challenge, and I think they're going to be successful. So one thing to have the Disney executives want to piss away, other people's money, but not so much the investors who get to vote on them. And yes, the financial malfeasance has been it's been breathtakingly awful, right? The only thing about the way he spoke that I found odd was the way he was saying babes and anything. Yeah, look, this is a different take on Doctor Who, right? This is a different take on Doctor Who. If it's not for you, groovy baby, totally groovy. I'll still be reviewing Big Finish and stuff. Classic Doctor Who too. Fine. I'm going to wrap up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to wrap up. I am back live on Thursday. What have I got tomorrow? Tomorrow I got quite a good video ready. Where is it? Doink. So this is the night of the Church of Ruby Road. So you get my I put an intro into this, but also I have the you have my pre. If you didn't watch it, it's the preview just before the episode where I'm like, and my first reaction afterwards, where I was like, well, that wasn't half bad. Quite by jiggery. Yeah, who would have thought such a thing, right? Who would have thought such a thing? So that's tomorrow, and then I'm back live Thursday. I want to talk about Rebel Moon, right? Man, that is getting its balls kicked in over and over again. I liked it, right? I think it's kind of mean to judge it unfavorably because we only really seen half of it, right? We got to see like the other half of the plot. I want us to look at the teaser trailer for that. But yeah, I think this is. I think this is solid. Okay, basically, I think I thought it came out solid. But anyway, that's tomorrow, and then Thursday back live. Friday more bollocks. Back live Saturday and Sunday. Rebel was boring. I found it kind of fun. Hey, listen, vive la difference, baby, vive la difference. I'm gonna hit the end broadcast button. It says end stream. I didn't even notice that. Change that. Gonna hit the end stream button. I'm gonna hit it again and say good night, good luck, Merry Christmas, and may your God